essential oil is expensive. So let's have a see what that's like. Whoa! Oh! Hello and welcome to Grumpy Old Crone with me, Annie, where I will be whinging to you for about half an hour about things that don't matter very much in the pagan and witchcraft community. So if that's your bag, stick around. It'll be lovely to have company whilst I whinge. So normally I do this, as regular viewers will know, in 3 slices. I do Witchcraft Aesthetic, Meat and 2 Potatoes, and then Positive Bit. And the Witchy Aesthetic, I'm the least aesthetic person you're ever going to meet. So I'm kind of stretching this until it squeaks a bit. So today I'm going to give you a story that's about aesthetics, only insofar as it's to do with the contact lens, and some people wear contact lenses because they like how they look without glasses. That's a bit squeaky, isn't it? But still, anyway, witchcraft aesthetic, or witchy aesthetic. Anyway, so this is an absolutely hand-on-heart, 100% true story, and it is about Mr Grumpy Old Crone and an experience that we had a couple of weeks ago now. And it's to do with his contact lens. Now, you won't necessarily realise because he kind of like shoots past the front of my videos or is off in the corner at some point, but he has an eye condition, quite a serious one, that led quite a few years ago to him having to have some transplant work to do with his eyes. And his eyesight is now so rubbish that glasses just don't cut the mustard anymore. Has to be a medically prescribed contact lens. He only really has one eye that does eye things. The other one is just there for, you know, decoration. The one eye does the actual seeing stuff. And that's the one that he tends to put a contact lens in. Now, normally, if you wear contact lenses, you will be familiar with what I like to refer to as the contact lens dance, which is when somebody... Now, if you're from the 80s, you might remember, stop, hammer time. This is a bit like that. The contact lens dance is like, stop, contact lens, whereupon everybody freezes their feet and immediately starts looking down and looking for the contact lens, which has obviously just fallen out of some hapless contact lens wearer's eye and is now somewhere upon the floor, probably in the middle of a party, a field once for us, and everybody has to stop and look for the very tiny, very transparent piece of incredibly expensive glass, if you happen to be Chris, because they're medically prescribed. They're really very expensive. They're not like the soft contact lenses that you can get like 30 for 50 quid a month. No, he has like hard contact lenses and they cost a lot of money. I'm not going to go into it, but it's a lot of money. More than the average pair of glasses. This is just one contact lens. And when a pair of glasses falls off, you can generally find them. Anyway, so the other night I was downstairs reading, that was my want, and all of a sudden I hear the cry from upstairs in Mr Grumpy Old Crone's study that signifies that the loving wife needs to come running with her mobile phone with the light on it and help him to find his contact lens, because his eyes are suitably bad that if the contact lens falls out, he doesn't stand a monkey's chance of finding the damn thing. So I hear the cry, which is generally like this, "Howdy!" And then I come running upstairs, mobile phone in hand, turning on the torch facility as I come. And I go up, and his office is the mirror image of mine, only with more swords and bigger computers. So I go in and he says, it's dropped out, I don't know where it is. And he's moved his chair over to one side. He's moved his chair kind of like over there. Normally he sits kind of here, and then he's moved the chair all the way over there, having done as close an examination of the area as he possibly can. So I get out my phone and I'm kind of down looking all over the place. Normally you kind of like pick up a little sheen of it as you're going, and I go, where the damn thing is it? Where is it? And he's also looking. I stand a better chance just because my eyes, when corrected, are better than his. So we're looking around and I can't find the damn thing anywhere. And after 10 minutes of looking, I say, well, I can't find it. This is, 200 quid odd of contact lens. I can't find the damn thing. And I've done this a lot, I have to say, a lot. So has he. It's just one of those things. And I said, right, well, let's retrace your steps. So where were you when you lost it? And he says, well, I was sat at my desk, and I just it just dropped out. And so I've looked at my clothes, because that's sometimes it'll fall out, and if you're wearing a fluffy jumper, it'll get stuck on the jumper. He said I couldn't find it anywhere, so I moved the chair over to one side so I could get on all fours and look a little bit more closely. I thought, right. So we looked everywhere. I said, have you checked the chair? Yes, I've checked the chair. So I thought, I'll just double check the chair. And his chair is kind of like a black mesh office chair with arms. And I get my phone and I shine my phone over it. And lo and behold, there's the contact lens. Great, I think. So pick it up. Now, at this point, I should just kind of step out, give you like my little Pratchett footnote here to say that I first wore contact lenses when I was 15, because my eyes aren't great either. I eventually got to the point where I couldn't be asked with contact lenses anymore, and they didn't really correct my sight any better than glasses did. And I just kind of prefer the look of my face with glasses, so I stuck with them. But I say this only to let you know that I have a lot of experience of handling contact lenses over the years. I'm now... How old am I? I'm 55 this year. Took me a minute. When you get over 18, it doesn't matter, does it? Anyway, but so from 15 to 55, I have handled a lot of contact lenses. First mine, and now my husband's. Okay. So I'm looking, and I find the contact lens, and it's on his chair. And I think, brilliant. So I pick it up. Now, I've picked up a lot of contact lenses in my time, and I'm very, very careful. So I pick it up like this, and I say, it's all right, I found it. Oh, phew, hurrah, hurrah, found it. And he says, right, give it here. And we were stood over by the door, which is kind of like in that direction, and he holds his hand up like this, and I put the contact lens onto it like that. Now, I am no further away from the contact lens than here, and it was actually kind of down at this sort of angle, and I put it on his hand. And I took my fingers away and I looked at it on his palm for maybe a second. And then as I looked at it, it disappeared. I'd like to reiterate that. It completely disappeared. I didn't blow it off. I wasn't breathing, because I know better than that. 40 years of dealing with contact lenses. I know not to breathe. It didn't fall off. It didn't stick to my hand. My fingers were a long way away. It was just not there. And it disappeared while I was staring straight at the damn thing. I was looking at it. I didn't blink. I was staring really, really carefully at it. And it just blinked. At the same time it blinked, my hand, I'd moved away to about this distance. I felt something around my hand go whoop. It's like a pop. The closest I can describe it as is, do you remember pop rocks from like the late 70s, early 80s? I think in America they were sold as space rocks. And they were like a kind of sweet candy stuff that you put in your mouth and go, oh, and it went crack, 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 crack. It didn't even taste that good. But it's just the novelty of it going crack, 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 crack in your mouth, really. But you felt these, I don't know how they did it, but they kind of like exploded, tiny little explosions on your tongue. Pop, 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 pop. It felt exactly like that on my hand, which was about this far away. Like, pop. And it was gone. I was looking straight at the damn thing. Now, at that point, Chris said, well, where's it gone? I said, I don't know. I was looking straight at it and it's gone. And he said, well, it's got to have blown off. I said, I was looking, and I have to say at this point, watching something that closely and seeing it disappear in front of your eyes, literally no blink, literally no breath, it just popped out of existence, is very fucking weird is all I can say. I have never experienced anything like it before, ever. And at this point, once again, 40 years experience of contact lens, neither of us moved our feet. We were super, super aware of our feet. So we stayed, our feet glued to the space, and we both bent over again, and we were looking. It can't have gone far. It can't have gone far. I kept saying, I don't know. I watched it disappear. I don't know. And I couldn't get over it. I just kept repeating this over and over again. And we couldn't find it. We couldn't find it anywhere. Our feet were glued to the floor. And then I said, well, look, we're going to have to move our feet because I'm going to have to get down on all fours to look really, really closely to see if it's at the floor, on the floor somewhere. I was looking at the floor to make sure that I didn't move my foot into a place that might have a contact lens on it. And as I moved my foot underneath my hard-soled slipper, and I've got to say, I'm going to take it off, it's my slippers, hard soles, underneath my slipper, between my slipper and the floor, was the contact lens. I had not moved my feet. I guarantee I had not moved my feet. And besides which, it's quite a hard floor, and my lens, my slipper, is really, really solid. And all of my weight was on my foot. Now, these are incredibly fragile, medically prescribed contact lenses, which on one occasion, he was just cleaning the contact lens and it just shattered in his hand. That's how fragile they are. And I was stood on it with my full weight. Now, as my bio says, I'm over 50, over opinionated and overweight. I'm not huge, but I'm definitely bigger than I ought to be. I am a not insubstantial weight to be balanced on the top of an incredibly fragile contact lens. But it was like under the ball of my foot where all of my weight was. But the contact lens was absolutely in one piece. So I picked it up. I gave it to Chris. He cleaned it, put it back in his eye, and he's wearing it now. But I have no idea what caused that. And I would love to hear other people's opinions on this at this point, because I'm fresh out of ideas. Now, I don't think it was a ghost. There was no haunting. You know, I didn't see a spooky figure go woo and take the contact lens. That didn't happen. I don't think it was grandfather. I didn't, because normally I can see our house. I say grandfather. Those who haven't watched before, it's my house spirit. I can see him. But it wasn't grandfather. I normally would see at least a shadow of where he was. No, it wasn't the house spirit. Wasn't a ghost. What the hell was it? How does something disappear in front of your eyes? If I had turned around and I'd gone back, I'd have thought he'd have dropped it. But he hadn't. And it got under my foot where there is no physical way it could have got underneath my foot without me having moved my foot. And I know I didn't move my foot. I don't know. Opinions gratefully received. The best opinion I've had so far from friends is that either, one, glitch in the matrix, or two, that it's a billion to one chance that all of the atoms in your body can occasionally line up so that something solid can just drop through them. Because we are, if you know anything about physics, solid isn't really solid. We are just a collection of atoms that kind of like float together. I'm sure a physicist can put that much better than I can. I'm a bit rubbish. But maybe it just kind of like fell through. But then what was the pop I felt? The pop was very obvious. So I don't know. And I am really eager to hear anybody else's opinion. So that's my witchy aesthetic for today. Things disappearing in front of your eyes and reappearing underneath your foot. Anyway, curious. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'd be fascinated. Honestly, no theory, two-way out. I'm probably not going to sign up for Space Aliens because I don't think it was Space Aliens. But, you know, who knows? I don't. Yeah, so there we go. Ta-da! Anyway, all of that being said, I think it is now time to get on to the bit that I've been really looking forward to today, and that is the meat and 2 potatoes of today. Now, normally, I would have at least partially scripted this, but I haven't partially scripted this, so I can only apologise if my digression digresses from the digression that I digressed from. So today is being brought to you courtesy of a friend of mine called Susie, who is the least floofy witch that ever existed. I love her to a bone. She's brilliant. And she sent me a picture of something that she had discovered whilst grocery shopping. And she was grocery shopping in, of all places, my own favourite supermarket, Lidl. And she had found it in the middle of Lidl aisle. And she sent it to me and she says, "Are you aware of this?" And I looked at the picture and I said, "I was not aware of this. I think I'm going to go after work today to Lidl and I'm going to see if I can pick up a copy of this." And lo and behold, after a couple of different Lidls on Thursday night, I discovered this thing of joy and wonder, which is this. It is Witchcraft Illustrated Guide and Witching Kit. And it includes pink salt, amethyst chips, a spell vial, and lavender essential oil. And a book that tells you how to use it. And all of this I got for the bargain price of £4.99 from the middle of Lidl. I will say that the original publishers, who are, what are they called? Sparkpool, apparently originally tried to sell this, according to the back of it next to the ISBN, for £14.99. Obviously, they failed at selling this for £14.99, which is why it ended up in the middle of Lidl. But still, what it is... Now, the first thing I noticed when I bought this and I brought it home was that the book appears to be glued to the box. So I can only think that the publishers imagined that this would be quite a temporary purchase, soon to be relegated to the bin. And nothing I have seen in it so far has disabused me of this concept. So what we have in here is this this wonderful set of lovely things, which I'm going to get out and I'm going to show to you. So hold on while I pull this to bits. 1 second. So what do we have? What amazing things do we have in here? Well, first of all, we have some pink salt. That is how much pink salt we have. And intriguingly, on this pink salt, excuse me, I'm now going to spontaneously turn into my mother. Warning, pink salt. This is not a food product. Do not eat. Well, what is it if it's not a food product? It's salt. I don't know. I'm curious. So I've got to open it now. I haven't opened this before now. So let's have a look. Let's see what it is. It is pink salt. It looks like Himalayan rock salt, basically. I don't know why we're not meant to eat this. Salt is just salt, isn't it? Calcium chloride, is it? I don't know. Well, it tastes very salty. Not died yet. Then again, I am the person who has licked Lush bath bombs, so, you know, no surprise there. No, it's just salt. It's just salt. It's just roughly ground Himalayan pink salt. Why does it say this is not a food product? I don't know. It's obviously a food product. It's salt. It's like saying, caution, bread, not a food product. Yes, it is. And now I've got Himalayan pink salt everywhere. There we go. Over the shoulder, ancient folklore to dislodge the devil from your left shoulder. Don't believe in the devil, but anyway, over it goes. So yeah, there we go. We have some pink salt, which is apparently not edible pink salt. I don't know what is wrong with that. But still, there we go. And then we have what is billed as a spell jar with a little cork in the top, and once again, turning it to my mother. Well, it claims they're amethyst chips. I mean, amethyst really is like almost as common as pink salt, but definitely look like amethyst chips to me. And for what it's worth, you get a reasonable amount of them. It's not bad. You get a reasonable amount of amethyst chips. And I might actually use those. Well, there we go. That's not too bad. So we've got our non-edible salt, small craft jar. You tend to get these like 5 for £1 in the works. And then some amethyst chips. And then finally, we have got some lavender essential oil. Essential oil is expensive. So let's have a see what that's like. Whoa! Oh! Oh man! That's never seen a lavender flower in its life. That smells like... Do you know when you book into an Airbnb and they've like Febrezed it within an inch of its life because somebody beforehand has just been smoking weed or something else? Yeah, it smells like that. I mean, I've got to say, of all of the senses, my eyes are a bit shot, witness the glasses. I'm going increasingly deaf musician, it just happens, and I was born without great hearing to start with. But I do trust my sense of smell, as my children and neighbours up to 5 or 6 doors away will attest that I can tell when they're smoking weed, even in their house, because I've got a very good sense of smell. And I can tell you that this little sucker hasn't been anywhere near a lavender plant in its entire bloody life. What would happen if you tried to offer this to a deity? And you, oh Aphrodite, I offer some badly smelling lavender essential oil substitute that whiffs a bit of Febreze. I don't see your petition going down particularly well in that case, do you? I certainly don't. My God, that reeks like... Ugh. It's so chemical, it's painful. I think I'd rather eat the salt. Ugh. I mean, the salt definitely smells better. Wow, amethyst chips smell better. Just that essential oil sucks. It sucks like gravity, man. I have just figured out that I can, in fact, mostly separate this book from... Oh, no, I can't. That's as far as it'll come off. Right, okay, I'm just going to have to read it like this. This, can I just say, is a suboptimal way to read a book. I thought I could just kind of like peel it off of there, but it's... Oh, well, I kind of can. Oh, who cares at this point? Okay, well, let's just say that that's not the cleanest cover of a book that you're ever going to see. Okay, but I can read it a little bit more easily now. So, we're going to look at the Witchcraft Illustrated Guide. What are our contents? We've got Time to Start Your Magical Journey, Charms, Talismans, Affirmations, Incantations, How to Choose and Activate Your Crystals, The Magic in Colour and Days, Dressing and Anointing the Candle. I don't know which candle, the candle. We didn't get a candle. I don't know. Building the Grimoire. Those who've watched me before know I'm looking forward to getting to that bit. Introductions to spells and incantations. Oh, let them be crappy doggerel. Please let them be crappy doggerel. Now, I looked at this previously, back when it was still attached to the shitty box. Oh, it's sticky on the back. I don't do sticky. That's not nice. Forgive me. Got to rip that back off. It was sticky. I don't do sticky. Right, anyway. So I have read this briefly whilst having lunch and laughing with Mr Grumpy Old Crone. And my life, it's a thing. I mean, the introduction is just perfect. When you think of witches, does your mind conjure images of cauldrons, cats and black pointed hats? Do you imagine elderly women with hooked noses and warts? No. No, I really don't, because I think that media collective consciousness has moved on from the Wizard of Oz, personally, but there we go. Oh dear. Today, witchcraft has adopted a fresh feel and positive outlook. Modern witches are turning to salts, crystals, oils and spells to enhance their lives by embracing non-traditional forms of spirituality and utilising underestimated skills of intuition and emotional intelligence. These witches are channeling the craft in its purest form. That's quite a claim, isn't it? It's that using salt, crystal, oil and spells is the craft in its purest form. Oh, it says, it's time to replace the outdated images that spring to mind with pictures of powerful people working potent magic without a cape or a broomstick in sight. Screw you. I've got a cloak and I've got a broomstick. Bloody love them. Although the cape is not made of polyester, so you know, there's that. Wow, okay. Now, my big thing with this, when I started looking at it, was the fact that every section in this copious book appears to be apologising for the fact that the author doesn't believe spells will work, which is, you know, a hard attitude to take in a book that's meant to be about witchcraft, I feel. And it doesn't, at no place in this does it mention working with deity. It's telling you how to set up your altar. Just have a place where you can sit quietly. You can use stones, plants or flowers. You can add anything to it that has significance, such as jewellery, charms or books. Not convinced. And then it's telling us the witch's pantry. We can have herbs and other botanicals, essential oils, but not ones that smell of Febreze. Terrible. And the key ingredients are basically one page of key ingredients, which is just basic smells. It gives you a choice. In the crystal section, you've got a choice of 7 crystals, 7 whole crystals to pick from. Now, I loved this. I did read this yesterday. How to make your own dressing oil. There we go. I thought that could be really useful. But all it says is that you need a jar, some carrier oil, some herbs and some essential oil. Put them all into the jar and shake it. Which I think is somewhat like saying, if you'd like to make some bread, here's the bread recipe. Get a bowl, put some flour and some other bread stuff in it, mix it up and bake it. Then you've got bread. Really? Really? Building the grimoire. Look at... It's not, as I have said before, fucking craft project. And then here they're saying, oh, you could put pressed flowers and herbs between the pages, add stamps, photographs and stickers. Stickers! Stickers! Was Isabel Gowdy putting stickers in her grimoire? No. She couldn't read or write, but you know, no. Even if she could, I don't think she'd have put stickers in it. No. Was Gerald Gardner putting stickers in his grimoire? No, he wasn't. Ugh. Oh, now this should be good. How spells work. How spells work. So let's read this. Spellcasting is a powerful way of focusing an intention to manifest a goal. They can help us become more focused and determined to get what we want. Most spells consist of 3 steps. Creating an intention, invoking it through a ritual, and putting that intention into action. So, for example, you might decide you want to date that person you have a crush on. That's your intention. You invoke your intention through a ritual like a love spell. This spell helps you put your intention into action so that you can finally open up a dating app or find the courage to text your crush. Is that what they think? Is that what they think a love spell does? It just means that you feel like you can finally open a dating app and you can swipe on Tinder. Is that what they think a spell is? Because that isn't. And that's my point with a lot of this in here, is that they apologise an awful lot for things that they don't think are going to work. So whoever wrote this book is going into it with the implicit understanding that magic doesn't work, which is a strange attitude for somebody to take who's writing an illustrated guide to witchcraft, I feel. And then they're saying that all you do is you manifest it. Do it like you mean it, it says. Manifest it. But manifestation and witchcraft are 2 very different things. This is why I have a problem with old big-hatted Mia Magic, who just goes on and on about manifesting things. Manifestation is not witchcraft. I will say that again for those at the back. Manifestation is not witchcraft. It has a part to play in it. But as for sitting there making a board with pictures of your ideal house on it and looking at it and concentrating really hard and hoping the universe is going to deliver it to you, that's not witchcraft. Okay? It's not nudging the universe in one direction or another. There are things about it, but what it is it's The Secret. It's buying Rhonda Byrne's new house in Australia or wherever it is. You know, it's The Secret. It's not witchcraft. Witchcraft is a very, very different thing. Please don't muddle them up. I don't know why it seems easier for modern media to accept that wishing for something is a better way of getting something than doing a spell. I've no idea why. And it drives me more than slightly loopy, to be brutally honest. Now, and then we have all of the spells. I love the fact that spells for power and protection, in no place does it say how to actually protect yourself. Nowhere in here will it tell you how to draw a circle, despite the fact you've got salt, which is perfect for drawing circles. Nowhere will it tell you how to reverse bad energy of anybody trying to send something onto you. It won't tell you how to put up wards in your house. I'm not going to lie, last week I think I had a bit of a whinge about witch bells. Was it last week or the week before? I don't know. I know I've whinged about witch bells. Anyway, and here it is, saying what you need to do to get rid of negativity in your life is hang bells on your door. And literally, the spell is hang bells on ribbon, put on door. What the is that going to do? Oh, no, you got some doggerel. You got some doggerel. This space belongs to me. Any negative or threatening energies have no power in this space. I can't help thinking that a little bit of salt and some iron wards around your house and tag locking stuff might be better, but they don't go into that, do they? And freezing spells. Has anybody out there had much luck with freezing spells? It's basically you write somebody's name on a piece of paper, stick it into a baggie full of water and stick it in your freezer, which is great if you've got lots of freezer space, I guess. But personally, having, my ex-husband vying for space with the frozen peas, not ideal. But there we go. And spells for friends and family. It does keep saying that it's all about you doing spells for love and sex. Look, I have issues with love spells anyway, because you're forcing somebody else into an emotion that might not necessarily be natural to them. So I kind of have some issues with consent and love spells anyway. But they're already saying that when it doesn't work, this is what it should do. It's not really going into it with much in the way of intention and manifestation, is it? So not even the manifestation they're claiming will work for this. It's just not good. It's just not good. Oh yeah. And the final bit was spells for wealth and prosperity. I mean, the thing that bewildered me, spells for wealth and prosperity, was like the simplest thing you can do is a money bowl, and they don't do a money bowl. They've got a money spell jar, but doesn't feature any money. And if you want to know what a money bowl is, it's really, really easy. You just have a bowl by your front door with money and things that whisper to you of prosperity. I have my spare change jar by my front door, and whenever I have spare change, I drop it in. And the idea is that the more you put into that, the more you focus on having money saved, and then the more will come to you. It's a simple kind of like someone's like sort of thing, with a bit of intention behind it. Cleanse it first, make sure it's somewhere where passing energy will hit it, stuff like that. But they don't even do that. There's a money spell jar that involves a whole load of crystals that you don't have, ginger, thyme, rice, a selection of seeds. I love that. And yeah, so, and that's the Witchcraft Lexicon Index, which is 1 page. They define smudging as a method of cleansing a space by burning a bundle of herbs, extinguishing the flame and wafting the smoke around to rid the area of negative energies. That's not smudging, dear author. Smudging is a bit more of a close practice. I think you'll find that is just smoke cleansing. Nothing wrong with a bit of a smoke cleanse, but let's not pretend by using the word smudging that we are actually doing anything vaguely Native American. I've got a whole load of stuff I would like to say. I would just point you to the fact that Isha from Activist Witch did the most amazing video last week on cultural appropriation in witchcraft. Nothing to do with what I'm talking about today, but it's an amazing watch. So do go and check out their video. It's Isha from Activist Witch. They do the most amazing stuff. Really well researched, really good opinion, lovely visuals as well. Their home is just glorious. So yeah, go check it out. It's really, really good. I'll leave a link because I think everybody should watch it. It was very, very good. I will at some point talk about why I love it and why it's so amazing and what have you. But it will absolutely be nicking some of their ideas because their ideas were amazing. Right, anyway, it's rubbish. don't buy it. So yeah, it was a whole $4.99 of I wonder what this is like. And I found out, and what I found out was it was terrible. So I have now ripped it to pieces, as you can tell, and I have no regrets about that at all, because I think that's kind of where it deserves to be. It was terrible. I apologise for having made you sit through that. Right, we're kind of running out of time. Oh my God, I whinged for far too long. I do apologise. Right, anyway, so we need to get on to the positive bit. Here comes the positive bit. Here we go. Right, so the positive bit. I'm going to leave you with some nice images of things, because I had a lovely weekend last weekend. I went to spend time with some friends, and the place that my best friend Lisa, shout out to Lisa, booked for a load of us to all go and spend her birthday with her, was just this amazing place. And they'd got gardens which are normally open to the public, but because it was still winter, they would close the public. So we had these gardens entirely to ourselves. And on the second day, the sun came out and it was just glorious. They had like a little arboretum and the best lichen. I'm aware as I say that, maybe I am slightly on my own with my obsession with moss and lichen, but there was amazing lichen there, and it was lovely. So we had a walk around, and it really felt like Ostara was on its way. I've got my pink and my yellow candles all ready to burn, ready for Ostara, and I will also leave you now with a picture of the Baba Yaga candle burner and incense burner that my best mate Lisa made for me, because it is the coolest thing. Don't ask me where you can buy one, because you can't. She went to pottery classes and asked if she could make a thing, if I had any ideas for things. Or maybe she didn't even ask on this one. Maybe she just made it because she knew I'd just bloody love it. And it is the coolest thing you have ever seen. I'm looking at it now. It's on my desk, right below the camera here, because it just makes me so very happy. It's got a working chimney that the incense smoke can puff out of, and I'm going to leave you with a picture of that, and just a little word of saying, when things get too much, just remember, we can all get through whatever's happening with the help of our friends, okay? And I would also like to have a little shout out that if anybody would like to get a little bit of sympathetic magic for you here, and once again, some of the right-wing people out there are going to be horrified at this, but if you would like to get, in this country they're called Wotsits, cheesy Wotsits. I believe in the States they're called Cheetos. But basically, they're lumpy and orange and about, couple of inches, 3 inches big. And get one of those and stick it full of pins and say, Cheeto be gone. I think we know who we can be aiming that intention at, don't you? I think any cheesy Wotsit or Cheeto can substitute an orange subject of hatred. Take from that what you will. So yes, I think let's all have a Wotsit and stick pins in it. There we go. Right, and on that cheesy Wotsit note, I'm going to leave you.